Good morning, everybody. How are we doing here in Oklahoma City? That's all we have. I expected better from a group of maintainers. Senator Paul Racino promised you guys were an excitable group. No? How are we doing, Oklahoma? All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. Welcome to a very special day in the history of Oklahoma, dedicating this beautiful facility that we are sitting and standing in right now. This is a remarkable day for aviation, aerospace, and defense for the great state of Oklahoma in this state-of-the-art 3-bay 737 hangar. I'd be remiss if I didn't say some amazing thank yous to the Oklahoma City Airport Trust, to AAR Corporation, J.E. Dunn, to Alaska Airlines, to our Oklahoma legislature, to our leaders in the state, local, and national communities. Everybody that participated in this project had a role, and it's truly, truly exciting. And so please silence your cell phones and let's stand for the singing of our national anthem by Oklahoma City's own Mark Williams.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and broad stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, if we could please remain standing and welcome Representative Trey Caldwell to the stage for an invocation.
Bow with me. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for this last round of moisture that we so desperately needed across the state of Oklahoma. Lord, bless this new facility that comes online, and bless the hands that turn every wrench, tighten every screw and bolt, and give them the proper patience and guidance to do the job right, because we know, Lord, that these airplanes do not fly without the men and women that do the regular maintenance on it, and this facility that'll happen at this facility. Guide, guard, and direct us as we go through our places of bold, and let everything we do be in your honor. Forgive us from our sins. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Thank you, Representative. We've got a good list of speakers and individuals that all touch this project in some way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, many of the lawmakers that you'll hear from, the leaders that you'll hear from today, either at AAR, the Airport Trust, or the construction company, this is the largest new hangar construction project the state of Oklahoma has participated in for a long time, probably going back to the early 2000s. I remember, John, we were breaking ground on this about 18-20 months ago, just on this very spot, and having a good conversation over a little bit warmer weather than what we're experiencing today. Yes, please be seated. Sorry. Not gonna treat this like a church service and keep you standing for the entire time, but at the end of the day, it's a monumental experience to see this 80,000 square foot 3-bay hangar come to life. And who better than to start us off than Senator Paul Racino, a maintainer who lived and breathed what many of you guys, men and women, are living and breathing every single day as you turn wrenches on airplanes, keeping aircraft flying safely in our national airspace. So, the man that started the aviation aerospace renaissance in the great state of Oklahoma when he joined the legislature, put your hands together for Senator Paul Racino.
Well, let me just say it is awesome for me to be standing in a hangar. It is what I did for 25 years, maintaining airplanes, working with some of the most professional people I've ever served with, and watching this facility go up. When this first started, we talked about this probably 4 or 5 years ago in a little conference room about how important this would be to the state of Oklahoma, not just for the Senate district that I serve, but for the entire state, and what it would mean to our economy, what it would mean for our national defense, what it means for Alaska Airlines, and what it means for AAR. And through all of those conversations, people at the Capitol, and I want to thank my colleagues. There are several colleagues that you're going to hear from and several that you won't hear from that are still here, but every one of them deserves a massive thank you. This was a major, major project, and the state invested more than half to get this to happen. So I want to take to my colleagues that I'm looking at right now, thank you for investing in this. This is a big deal for the state of Oklahoma, and we're setting a standard. For your maintainers out here that are going to be working on these airplanes, one of the things that I always talked about when I was leading sailors fixing airplanes, the one thing we talk about more than anything is safety and souls on board. When you're fixing airplanes, when you're working on them, especially when you're working on things that are safe for flight, engine removals, flight controls, landing gear, every single time you turn a wrench, every single time you repair something, think about the souls on board. Your moms, your dads, your children, your friends, people you know, climb on these airplanes, never worried that anything's going to happen because they know about good maintainers and what they're doing. So thank you all for the maintenance that you do. Aerospace and aviation, as you guys know in Oklahoma, is the second largest industry in the state of about $45 billion. I've said it 100 times and I'm going to continue to say it until I leave. I want aerospace and aviation to be the #1 industry in the state of Oklahoma before I leave the legislature. And to all my friends in oil and gas, we love you, but we know that it's not sustainable all the time. We have all these ebbs and flows. The one thing that we definitely know happens all the time is airplanes need maintenance, whether it's routine maintenance, whether it's unscheduled maintenance, whether it's scheduled maintenance, whether it's depot maintenance. They constantly need repairs, and that's what we are. We are maintenance, repair, and overhaul state, and you guys are leading the way. So again, thank you all. The other thing I want to talk about is our defense, aerospace and defense industry in the state of Oklahoma is about a $19.1 billion industry in the state. We have 5 military bases, and many of you are veterans out here. So thank you for coming back, and after serving your country, are now serving the state and serving here in South Oklahoma City at this facility. To Grayson Arties, Jeff Mulder, Mr. Holmes, thank you for having us here today. Thank you for doing the things you do, and I have a citation for AAR, if I could just have them come up. We're not going to read it. We just wanted to give it to you and take a photo. Thank you all. And the last thing I'd like to do is, Senator Kelly Hines, could you please stand? And Representative Nicole Miller, I don't think is here, but recently the Aero Caucus in the state of Oklahoma, who has a lot to do with all these things, now has a new chair of the Aero Caucus, and that's Senator Kelly Hines. He will be involved in many of these things, But there's something you should also know about Senator Kelly Hines. He is a helicopter pilot with over 20 years and at the rank of colonel and is a combat helicopter pilot. So also, Colonel, thank you for your service and thank you what you've done for America. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
I like the play on music there. Thank you, Senator Racino. Really, truly appreciate what you've done in your tenure here at the state legislature. You've changed the calculus for aviation, aerospace, and defense for the great state of Oklahoma. So Senator Racino represents this airport that we're standing on here today, and we have a fairly new representative that is also representing this ground that we stand on today, and she is become all on board for aviation, aerospace, and defense in her short time in the legislature. But please put your hands together and welcome Representative Emily Geist to the stage.
Good morning. It's always a great day in Oklahoma when we're cutting ribbons. More ribbon cuttings and less red tape. That's a win for Oklahoma. Today we celebrate the grand opening of Hangar 4 here in Oklahoma City. A milestone not just for AAR, but for all of us who know the value of investing in infrastructure that drives growth. Oklahoma's airports are more than runways and hangars. They're economic engines. Oklahoma is uniquely positioned for this work. We have 108 public airports across the state that connect businesses to customers and suppliers, generating more than $10.6 billion in economic impact each year. Nearly 40% of our aerospace companies, 440 to be exact, are located directly on airport property. That's not an accident, that's strategy. I have the privilege of representing the district home to Will Rogers Airport, World Airport in Oklahoma City, which serves as the economic anchor of South Oklahoma City. With more than 70 companies on site and nearly 12,000 jobs, including the FAA's Mike Monroney Aeronautical Center, now home to AAR Aircraft Services and Atlantic Aviation, this airport proves that when we invest in infrastructure, businesses don't just take off, it stays. This hangar represents real jobs, real families that are impacted, real food on the table, real opportunity, and a clear signal that Oklahoma is open for business. We are serious about aerospace, and I liked Senator Racino's goal of making aerospace the #1 industry for Oklahoma. I hope to align alongside that and see that happen. Congratulations today to AAR on Hangar 4, and thank you for helping keep Oklahoma flying higher.
Thank you, Representative. I could, all the lights, I can't see anybody anymore. It's all, there we go. There's the TV lights. So at the end of the day, this project or these projects would not be possible without the individuals that control the checkbooks in our respective chambers. And I know we didn't have the speaker here today. I know we don't have the pro tem here today. And those are very important people in the Senate and House. But really the important people you want to talk to are the folks with the checkbooks. And so the next two individuals that you hear from today are the folks that control those checkbooks for the Senate and the House, respectively. And they're going to tell you a little bit about the story of how this project and many projects like this across the state of Oklahoma came to being because of the foresight and the forward-leaning vision for the Oklahoma Senate, the Oklahoma House, and our leadership. So, would you please put your hands together and welcome the chair of the Appropriations and Budget Committee for the Oklahoma State Senate, Mr. Chuck Hall.
This is really pretty cool. I've never had walk-up music before. I always envisioned it would be AC/DC or something, right? I don't know what that music was. Tremendous opportunity for me to be here and talk a little bit about what we're seeing as is an amazing milestone and a wonderful success for the state of Oklahoma. You know, for me, coming to the airport has always been exciting. Because when we're here, we're traveling for a purpose. Whether it's a journey for business, seeking the next great sale, or a well-deserved vacation, or just reconnecting with family and friends, the airport is the starting point of the next great adventure. And that's nothing compared to the feeling when we come home. But my favorite part of the airport, I think, is the people and the people watching. I think we all can share in the many, many times that we've been sitting and waiting and watching the people, and we get to see America and what we're all about. You know, I'm here to talk a little bit about PrEP. And several years ago, the legislature created the Progressing Rural Economic Prosperity Fund to invest in economic development opportunities across the state. PrEP was about making intentional and targeted local investments to attract more employers to rural Oklahoma. As a rural legislator, I can attest that there's no better place to live and work, and we're always looking to create more opportunities for young people to be able to stay in Oklahoma and work close to home. I was fortunate enough to meet a young man that was introduced to me when I walked in today that was trained here in Oklahoma and stayed in Oklahoma. That's the kind of success stories that we need, and thank you, young man, for doing what you're doing. Airports are a critical part of our state's infrastructure. They connect people, businesses, and goods and services. As such, investing in airport improvements across Oklahoma, from Boise City to Idabel, from Bartlesville to right here in Oklahoma City, these upgrades support existing jobs and lay the groundwork for future growth in every corner of our state. Aerospace, as my good friend Senator Brazino said, is the second largest industry and the fastest growing industry in the state of Oklahoma. Third, by the way, is tourism, and every one of our airports plays a major role in growing both those sectors, and most importantly, they keep people coming back. Make no mistake about it, investments in major airports like Oklahoma City and Tulsa benefits all Oklahomans, no matter where we live, because our major metropolitan airports are huge economic drivers. This hangar is a great example because it creates new jobs and will bring more travelers to the state of Oklahoma. We also know that airports are often the first and the last impression that are given by a state or a city. Will Rogers International Airport has become more than a stop along the way. As more and more people discover Oklahoma and choose to move here, this world-class airport is the welcome first. Today is a prime example of what can happen when public and private come together for a common good. Oklahoma City is better for it, rural Oklahoma is better for it, and our state is better for it. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for having me this morning.
Thank you, Senator. Those PrEP funds have been critical to many of our aviation aerospace successes that we've seen across the state. For his counterpart in the House, the chair of the Appropriations and Budget Committee for the Oklahoma House of Representatives, please welcome to the stage Representative Trey Caldwell.
Thank you, Grayson, and thank you. It's a remarkable day when you finally get to see projects come to fruition and see the final outlay and how many lives this will affect over the coming decades. As many of my colleagues have pointed out, aerospace is a growing industry here in the state of Oklahoma, and it really, really helps prevent the cyclical nature of our economy being over-leveraged when it comes to oil and gas. And so we've been super appreciative of the last 20 years, and the work really probably started going all the way back to Wiley Post and Will Rogers and their advocacy for flight, and then it was continued by Jim the Mountain Inhofe and his tenure in Congress and then into the United States Senate, and how much work and effort he's put on. And I'm very, very happy that at this point in time in my life, I get to stand on the shoulder of giants that have come before us to continue to move Oklahoma into the 21st century. If we know anything about history and we know anything about the coming 21st century, is that the world gets smaller every day. And one of the reasons and mechanisms that allows that is the ability to travel. And good, solid commercial air travel is vital to a state's infrastructure and a state's economy. And that does not happen without the people that turn the wrenches and tighten the screws and the bolts. If the consumer does not have confidence that they can get on that airplane and land safely, they're not going to fly. And then the economy will eventually lock down and we'll retreat into the 18th or 19th century. So I'm very, very excited about the expansive opportunities that this project presents, the jobs that it creates, and I think it's a key indicator of what happens when we can find public-private partnerships and tear down silos. And one of my favorite quotes of all time is, "Anything is possible when people do not care who gets the credit." And I know that colleagues like mine, like Nicole Miller, Senator Racino, have led the charge in their tenure, in their near-decade tenure in the legislature, to make things like this happen all across the state of Oklahoma. So thank you for allowing me to represent the House and the Speaker and coming to presenting to you today. And I look forward to the opportunities to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative. So this is part of a 5-year effort of the legislature investing additional dollars in our agency and in the aviation, aerospace, and defense world, and that has transformed many projects around the state of Oklahoma. This obviously one project, 80,000 square foot hangar, but we have 175 plus hangar units that have been built in the last 5 years, totaling over 600,000 square feet of new hangar space. Obviously, it's nice when this one accounts for more than 10% of that total number, but all communities around the state of Oklahoma are being positively impacted by the investment of the Oklahoma legislature. And I know not all the lawmakers in attendance today were able to get up here and speak, and so I just want to say a brief thank you to those that are with us but not up here on stage. I see Senator John Hast, Senator Darcy Yeck, Representative Hill, Representative Denise Crosswhite-Hayter. I think I saw Senator Weaver out there. And if there's a representative or a senator I've missed, I apologize. I haven't seen you yet, but I just want to say thank you for what the legislature has done over the last 5 years. You all have truly transformed the aerospace, aviation, defense arena. Let's give them a round of applause. And obviously, we wouldn't be building this hangar without some airplanes to put in it. At the end of the day, this is a nice facility. It's a great event, but we're not doing this as an event hosting opportunity. We're doing this for MRO, as you heard Senator Racino say. And obviously, I have some great things to say thank you to Alaska Airlines for committing to AAR and willing to put their aircraft in this facility. So please put your hands together and welcome Constance van Meulen from Alaska Airlines.
Everybody, this has been a long time coming, and I just want to maybe talk a little bit about what brought us here today. From my perspective, it's really 3 things that have made this beautiful building possible: vision, partnership, and relentless commitment to quality. First, vision. Vision is about people thinking ahead, knowing their business, anticipating what's possible, and dedicating themselves to making it real. Remarkable things are rarely easy things. And this, what we are celebrating here today, is a hard thing. It happened because vision lived here from the very beginning. Stan, your vision lived here from the very beginning. Vision from the AAR team, John, vision from the Alaska Airlines team, and vision from our distinguished community, elected, and government officials. You heard from Senator Racino and Representative Caldwell. They believed it could be created, and they pursued that dream. Second, partnership. As many of you know, Alaska is AAR's longest-standing MRO customer for almost 25 years. We've sent our airplanes here. Over that time, we've weathered ups and downs, whether it be COVID, workforce challenges, supply chain, you name it. We together, though, have always found a way forward. We've solved problems creatively, strengthened both our businesses, and committed to the long-term value of this relationship. It's made both of our companies better, and it's made both of our companies more successful. And I would argue it has made Oklahoma more successful from a jobs and a future perspective in aerospace. When times were tough, people on all sides decided that this partnership matters. There's a path forward, and they walked that path together, built this success that we see here today. Finally, quality and the relentless commitment to excellence behind it. Alaska Airlines is the largest 737 ETOPS operator in the world. We fly to Hawaii from the West Coast, 6 hours over water. That demands standards that go beyond the ordinary from a quality perspective. And that is why our partnership with AAR and the professionals in this facility is so critical. Thank you to every single person that works on our airplanes. Your attention to detail, your professional mindset is essential, and it shows, and it's the reason we continue to be here. Every person contributes to this work and must meet and exceed the higher standards that we expect. Quality isn't just a process, it's a mindset. It's something you bring to your work every day, and for that I am grateful. Also, I'd like to thank the Alaska team, and especially Tim, Scott, and John, who hold that bar high, tough but fair, and for the everyday work that happens with our AAR leaders in this facility, Levi and your team, and Stan before him. You ensure that every aircraft leaving this facility is second to none with regards to quality. So as we celebrate this moment, let's recognize the vision, partnership, and commitment to excellence shown by every person in this room, shown by our elected leaders, shown by our AAR leaders, and our commitment from an Alaska Airlines perspective. That pursuit of excellence has made our future brighter for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Constance. Now I'd like to welcome to the stage the group responsible for building this beautiful facility and many others like it across the state of Oklahoma. Please put your hands together for Jason Hammond with J.E. Dunn Construction.
Good morning, everybody. What an incredible day this is. My name is Jason Hammond. I'm a senior project manager with J.E. Dunn. I've had the privilege of working on this project for 2 years now. It feels like just yesterday we were standing over there in the nose cone, getting ready to break ground on this project, holding down a tent that was about to fly away in the Oklahoma winds. Today, the J.E. Dunn team is filled with pride and gratitude, and I know we're not alone. None of this would have been possible without the investment, the vision, the trust, and the tireless collaboration of so many remarkable partners. First, to the Oklahoma City Airport Trust. Thank you for entrusting J.E. Dunn with the opportunity to build this beautiful building and making us a part of Oklahoma City's first CMAR project. Your confidence in us set the standard for excellence from day one. To Oklahoma Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics, your generous grants and forward-thinking vision and leadership helped pave the way and the road that brought us here today. To FSB architects and engineers, thank you for the inspired design of this hangar and for your professionalism, responsiveness, and partnership throughout the entire project. To AAR, I know many of you have looked forward to this day for many years. It's been a dream in the making. Thank you for your investment in this project. Without it, none of this would have been possible. It has been an absolute pleasure working alongside you as your partners and as your neighbors. Your collaboration made this project not only successful, but it was genuinely enjoyable the entire time. And finally, to every trade partner and worker who poured their blood, sweat, and tears into this project. And yes, construction guys and gals, they shed tears. It's a lot of work. The skill, the dedication, and the craftsmanship are the foundation of what we see today. We had over 700 workers come on site. The structure itself consists of 2.3 million pounds of steel. It required 2 massive cranes to hoist each half of the roof structure, with the third one putting in support structure, tying it all together before we could safely walk away at the end of the day. And that required 18+ hour days to ensure everything was erected and safe. The project consists of over 36 miles of electrical wiring. Ultimately, it's truly an impressive feat of engineering, coordination, and teamwork throughout. This hangar stands as a testament to the hard work of every party, every individual who was part of the journey. Today, everybody on the J. Dunn team is proud and honored to hand over the keys to OCAT and AAR. Thank you all for being a part of this milestone.
Thank you, Jason. Before I bring up the man of the hour and introduce him, I just want to say a special thank you to Levi and to Stan Mayer. I think I saw Stan out there. The two individuals that have always said yes to our agency's, particular Sandra Shelton's, crazy ideas. We had Women in Aviation Day, an amazing event in here just a few months ago. We've had many events at some of the other hangars that AAR operates in, and you guys have always been a willing partner to succeed and ensure that people understand the success of this industry across the state of Oklahoma. So I want to say thank you, and John, you got a great team. You really do have a great team. Every single one of these folks that shows up every single day is absolutely amazing in the way that they help us promote this great industry. And so, without further ado, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. John Holmes, CEO of AAR Aircraft Corporation.
AAR was founded in 1955 in the Chicago area. AAR has positioned itself as a global leader in aerospace and defense aftermarket solutions. The company supports commercial and government customers through 4 operation segments: part supply, repair and engineering, integrated solutions, and expeditionary services. In 1971, the company acquired its first airframe MRO facility at Will Rogers Airport in Oklahoma City, marking the beginning of a strong presence in the area. Since then, AAR has significantly expanded its operations, adding multiple hangars and enhancing maintenance and support services for both commercial and government sectors.
Oh, come on. She said everything I was going to say. Jeez. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing okay? All right, I recognize I'm the last speaker, so I will be efficient. Today is it's actually very personal for me, and I mentioned this when we did the groundbreaking, but I started at AAR almost 25 years ago, and this was the first maintenance center, the first actual wrench turning where real work happens, place that I visited during my 3rd week at the company. I couldn't even spell MRO, but I came here and learned exactly what real work is and what makes AAR such a great company. And so it's personal because my journey at AAR almost 25 years ago in a way started here. It's also personal because I got to do my first groundbreaking here about 18 months ago, and I thought to myself, what's cooler than a groundbreaking? A ribbon cutting. A ribbon cutting is cooler. So this is my first opportunity to do a ribbon cutting. So thank you for making all that happen. Today we mark a milestone, and you've heard from others that this has been in the works for years and years and years. And this ribbon cutting is more than about our expansion in square footage. It's about our expansion and creating opportunities in Oklahoma. When we started this journey, we knew that 3 things had to be true to be here today. 3 things needed to be true. 1, we needed a talented team of incredible technicians. 2, we needed a long-term customer commitment. And 3, we needed a supportive business environment. And boy, were all 3 of those things true for us here in Oklahoma. And on that note, I want to go through an I know we've heard a lot of thank yous. I want to add mine. I want to go through and thank certain people from each of those groups. First, the entire AAR team. You are all stars. I love being on your team. We've got a hashtag in our social media saying the best team in aviation, and that's not just a hashtag. It is true, and I'm honored to be part of your team. What you do here in Oklahoma, as you heard, this was the first MRO that started it all. What you do here in Oklahoma has not only made the expansion in Oklahoma possible, it's made AAR the largest heavy maintenance provider in North America and the third largest in the world. And thanks to your dedication and your unwavering commitment to safety, quality, and operational excellence, we've been able to expand all over the place, but this is where it all started. On that note, I want to give a special shout out to Levi Lenz. We got 3 generations of Oklahoma general managers. I want to give a special shout out to Levi, special shout out to Stan Mayer, and I had a chance to say hello to General Don Wedecam earlier today. You are all tremendous leaders, and again, thank you for driving the results that allow us to be here today. Next, committed customer, Alaska. There is no more committed customer to AAR than Alaska Airlines, and Constance, you are an incredible partner and a great friend. We are so grateful for our relationship. It has been an honor and a privilege to grow alongside Alaska Airlines over the more than 25 years that we've worked together. And speaking of growth, one of the reasons we had to build this new building is because your aircraft is just getting longer and taller, and we needed a new building to accommodate the next generation of 737s that we'll be working on here. So thank you, Alaska, Constance, and your entire team for the partnership. And then in terms of a friendly business environment, the government support that we have received has been absolutely tremendous. Senator Racino, your remarks this morning were absolutely on point. Your comments about safety and souls, that's an incredible message to our team. And thank you for everything you've done to quarterback the efforts to get us here today. Grayson, also a great friend, great supporter of AAR, but as you heard, a great supporter of the entire aviation industry, which is just tremendous. Also want to give a special shout out to Sandra. I can't see you, but I know you're watching and probably looking at the clock because I'm going off script here. Sandra, thank you so much for coordinating everything you do and making today in particular possible. Also want to give a special shout out to Jeff Mulder and the Oklahoma City Airport. You have been tremendous. We operate in a number of environments, and I wish that the other environments that we operate were as supportive as what we experience here in Oklahoma. And on that note, this project was unique because a lot of times, and I don't want to offend anybody here, but a lot of times government can be in the way of business. Government can slow things down. You're waiting on permits, you're waiting on a council to meet, you're waiting on an environmental study, you're waiting on, funding, etc. But here in Oklahoma, this experience building this hangar, it was the opposite. And in my 25 years, I've never seen anything like it. We were actually being pushed. It was, hey, you got the land, you got the funding, we got a contractor, what are you doing? And it was amazing to actually be pushed by the government to be here today. And as I mentioned, I wish it worked like that everywhere. And finally, a big shout out to J.E. Dunn. Thank you for building a beautiful building on time, and what no one has said yet, slightly under budget, which is also incredible, and we cannot wait to fill it with airplanes. As I mentioned, AAR's first MRO facility was right here in Oklahoma City. It dates back more than 50 years, as you heard, and we've been thriving here ever since. We are honored to be part of the legacy of aviation in Oklahoma and very proud to be part of Oklahoma's soon-to-be largest industry. With this expansion, we're not just growing, we are deepening our roots here, and Oklahoma has been very, very good to us, and we will continue and are committed to being good to Oklahoma. The investments in this building are more than about the building or adding maintenance capacity. They're about investments in people and the community and the aviation industry in total. AAR is known for investing in training programs, workforce development, and the next generation of aviation maintenance professionals. We create pathway for people who want long-term, rewarding career with unlimited potential, and we're very, very excited to provide those opportunities. Speaking of that, we're not just opening the doors to a new hangar, we are opening the doors to 200 new jobs with AAR in Oklahoma in the great aviation industry. This facility represents what happens and what's possible when confidence, collaboration, and community all come together. And looking around at all of you here in the room inside this incredible facility, it's a clear demonstration of what can happen when those things occur. So I want to thank you again for being here today. I want to thank you for all the support, and I want to thank you for being part of our next chapter. Now let's go cut that ribbon.
Thank you, John. Might record that the government was pushing business and replay that to our legislative friends in years to come. Those are some great remarks. I would like to do a little audible myself, and let's put our hands together and welcome a very important representative to the aerospace. You heard me talk about the purse strings of the appropriation budget for the entire legislature, but the purse strings specifically for aerospace and defense. Let's put our hands together for the chair of the Transportation Subcommittee on Appropriations, Representative Nicole Miller.
Well, what a delight to be here today. Thank you for having us, and it's just so incredibly impacting to see this come together and to see it to come to fruition. I remember it was probably about the fall of 2021, 2022, and Sandra caught me in the hallway and was telling me about this fantastic project that we could do. And it was for the facility that we're in today, a $20 million project. And let me put that in context. At the time, we had just started out doing a state appropriation only for $2 million for the Department of what is now Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics. So certainly my jaw kind of dropped. But you know what? Here's the thing: is there was a vision, and there were people who were committed to it, and people sitting here today. Senator Hayes, you've been a great partner along the way, and so many others. And we're finally there. We're finally doing it. We're finally seeing it come together. So what is this an example of? I think it's certainly an example of, certainly what Mr. Holmes was saying is that it's a complementary partnership. None of us could do this on our own. And it's because we all have played collectively together, and we've been successful in that. Whether that's been our MRO facilities, certainly on the civilian side, on the defense side, what we're doing in the economy of space, some really, really exciting things. And so let me just end with this. I've got a nephew who's 10 days older than my own son, so he's almost like a son to me. Lives in another state fairly close by, but he's going into the trades. He's about 20 years old, and I kind of convinced him just from being around you and being around this industry and being around the people. I'm like, you really, really need to look at getting your AMP license, mechanic license. And so he is on track to do that. And I had said to him, a couple months ago, I'm like, you have got to come up and see what AAR is doing in the Oklahoma City area. Because isn't that the point? Isn't that what this is all about? It's about the people. And it is so incredibly exciting to see how quickly we've come to where we are in 5 years, $350 million in aerospace investment. But what's even more exciting is the track that we're on and the potential we have to do even more. So thank you for having me today. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your team and the legislative branch to be partners with you.
Thank you, Representative Miller. A few more thank yous before we get to our final guest speaker. Have a few more lawmakers. I saw Representative Brian Hill and Senator Jack Stewart. So thank you and all your other lawmaker friends for attending today. Also, I have a couple of bosses I need to thank. Commissioner Putnam and Commissioner Campbell, I know, are both here on the board for the Department of Aerospace and Aeronautics, and want to say thank you to them. Always good to ensure job security, thanking your bosses here in public. But besides John being the most special of getting to operate in this facility, the individual that's going to own this facility and the representative that he is to the aerospace, to the aviation, the defense, but more importantly to the airport community of the great state of Oklahoma. He's changed the name, and it's hard. I've heard Will Rogers World Airport several times up here. I've probably said it a few times, but the great new name, Oklahoma City, or OKC, Will Rogers International Airport, truly international with a new route to Cancun. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Jeff Mulder.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. What this represents is a competitive world that we live in. What I mean by that is, from a local airport perspective or a state perspective, we compete with every other state and community for air service and aerospace projects. And it's this kind of public-private partnership that we need to compete, and that's the great example of the state and AAR and we as the airport coming together to make this happen, and that's what we need to continue to compete and grow our industry here. Airports generally don't build aircraft hangars. We do runways and terminal buildings and parking garages, and so this was a pretty big lift for us, but I just wanted to thank some of the folks we already talked about, but Jay Dunn has been a fantastic contractor to make this happen. Jay Kirkpatrick was our construction manager. He did a fantastic job. John Storms, our engineer, and his staff. This was, again, a major project for us, and they were critical in making this happen. So I just want to say thank you to all of those, and thank you for being here and for our support. My board, Terry Salmon, our chair of the Oklahoma City Airport Trust, and our board members, and the city council, Mayor Holt, and all the support they provide to our airport system that helps produce projects like this. So thank you for being here. Grace, I think I'm the last speaker, and so I think our next step is to orchestrate a ribbon cutting and move forward. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Appreciate your support and attendance.
Thank you, Jeff. If I could have all the lawmakers up here to the front, Jeff, you, whoever you want to bring, John, your team, bring, and we'll cut a ribbon. All right, everyone, thank you. Oh. Test, nope. No. All right, thank you, everybody, for coming. You are certainly dismissed, but please feel free to hang around and mingle and celebrate this momentous day for the great state of Oklahoma. Thank you all for attending.